The show was for miracles, brightness filling the screen as it advertised cereal. You can come in and have a seat, Ryan said. His voice had a chuckle as he yawned. My eyes wanted the teeniest bit as I realized he knew I had been standing there the whole time. But really, there was nothing that should have surprised me about werewolves anymore. And yet they kept on doing it. I made my way to the couch to see him sprawled out, his feet crossed as they were resting casually on the coffee table. Resting in the crook of his arm was a bowl of popcorn, looking particularly appetizing in the dim lighting. He smiled as he saw me come forward, his eyes trained on me in a friendly way. Come, sit, eat, he said, affording the bowl of popcorn with a waggle of his eyebrows. I laughed, plopping down beside him on the couch. I think I will just take you up on that offer, Ryan. Alpha, I froze as I didn't know what exactly to call him as leader of the pack. It was all just confusing. Ryan, please, all that alpha stuff doesn't have to be used when I am not acting the part. He grinned as I relaxed into the plush couch. It formed to the formation of my posture. Delicately, I took a handful of the popcorn and started popping the nails into my mouth. Instantly, the sweet taste erupted in my mouth. You like nacho cheese on your popcorn too? I asked, an eyebrow rising. Of course, who wouldn't? He said nonchalantly. He was acting so differently to me than Tristan had, or even he had only a few weeks earlier, and I felt at ease in his presence. Sinking further into the couch as the commercials ended, the show coming back on, we munched on popcorn quietly, laughing as jokes were told. I finding out that this Raymond in Everybody Loves Raymond was actually pretty funny. I can't remember the last time I have watched a comedy. I thought out loud and Rain's mouth dropped open and a new conversation started on all the different comedy sitcoms and which I just had to see. He was probably the antidote of Tristan's sarcasm. I couldn't help it. The question escaped my lips before I could even have time to think about it and wave it away. Why don't you hate me anymore? I never hated you per se. It was more like you were a threat to not only my family but my pack. He said quietly, his fingers fumbling with the remote control. I let the words sink in. I agreed. In so many ways, I probably would have acted just as hesitant if someone had threatened my father and me. Would have done everything in my power to make sure they stayed in line. But I'm not a threat anymore, I asked. He looked me in the eyes, his eyes serving me in the same fashion and Tristan always seemed to. Those eyes, they almost made me forget that he was Ran and not Tristan. Even though every werewolf I had seen always had silver eyes, it wasn't the expression, the thought beneath them that was distinguishable. No, I know that you would never intentionally harm our society. Despite the short times that I have been seeing you, I can tell what kind of person you are, and I trust you. His voice bit into me and stung as I thought about Tristan still acting the same way. If you can trust me, then why can't Tristan? He leaned back with a strained chuckle, a hand going through his hair, pushing back the gold locks. Tristan, oh, Tristan, he's another deal altogether. He has always been stubborn. It's just the way he is, trust me. As his older brother, I know quite a bit about him. But I'm sure somewhere in that cold heart of his, he does know that you won't tell. How do you know? I asked. I could even hear the doubt in my own voice, positive that there wasn't bone in his body that gave a crap about whatever I would tell or not. He just wanted to keep me tortured. He didn't kill you, Ran said simply, and I opened my mouth to protest about the total nonsense that meant, but he went on. When you found out, there was really one option that he could have taken, kill you, silencing you from ever being able to speak a word about us, but he couldn't. Instead of for some miraculous reason, he choose to take you to me and have the punishment be dealt with from there. There has been no human who has found out about us and lived to tell. I gulped, not daring to look at him anymore. My eyes glazed over at the television, its pictures seeming not to matter anymore. It was all just a blur. Yeah, why did he let me live? Was it because he cared for her in the smallest way? No, that couldn't be it. He hadn't known her at all then, only a few exchanged glances over the years, maybe a passing polite sorry if not of us bumped the other in the hall, but never anything more. So why in the world did he break the rules and let me live? Quickly, I scrambled for a different conversation, eager to get away from the scattered thoughts that flooded my mind. Why are you the alpha? I just stepped up after the previous alpha died. He said it so simply, but it was his eyes that gave away the fact that there was something more. Who was the previous alpha? Our father. He was the previous alpha. We were very close to him. Me, Tristan, and our other brother. He was the one who was there during our first shift, the man who taught us to be who we are today. He looked at me regardedly, his eyes understanding. It was hard, but we have managed to it. And everyone needs to move on. Sometimes it just happens sooner than we would like. I nodded in agreement. Tristan was closest to him. He started, but right then someone picked the moment to come sleepily into the room. What are you watching? Tristan said, rubbing his eyes with the back of his hand as he yawned widely. He caught a glance at the TV. What in the world is this? He said, his eyes widened incredulously. We are watching church. I explained that is a totally normal thing to do at. I quickly checked my watch, 3 in the morning. He rolled his eyes and sat down beside us, scowling at me to give him the popcorn. As it would have turned out most of the time if someone had ordered me to give them something, I threw it at him. Popcorn showered the couch and Tristan as me and Ran burst into a fit of laughter. And after a glare that seemed to match his face perfectly, Tristan reluctantly joined in on the laugh fest, but my mind kept on wandering back to the last sentence Ryan had said to me alone. Tristan was closest to him, and I wondered if that meant that Tristan had taken the loss the hardest. Did that make him the person he was? The hurt haunting him like it had once done me.